I were to bring Alexander Graham Bell and Thomas Alva Edison over to our time, Thomas Alva Edison would not understand how a light bulb works, and Alexander Graham Bell would not recognize a phone. But if I were to bring Carrier, he would be able to fix your air conditioner because it's the same technology he invented over 150 years ago.
When Hurricane Ian devastated Fort Myers Beach, it destroyed all the marinas except for 3 on Fort Myers Beach. And because those 3 were Golden Manufacturing's docks, people recognized the difference between our product and all the others.
We decided to get into the concrete ready mix business, but we couldn't let anybody know.
If you think this is expensive, I'll show you expensive. This one golf tee is 18 karat solid gold, and it's increasing in value daily. We're gonna sell this one golf tee for $10,000 a tee.
And I turned to him and I was like, Dad, I need to share this with you. I'm really struggling with depression. I've almost taken my own life. And he turned to me and he said, "You selfish little prick." And I was like, that's not the answer I was expecting.
For 2 years we worked. My dad and I built this plant, constructed it. Nobody knew what we were doing. So we ran out of capital before we were able to sell any concrete. Not only did we have debt for the trucks, but we had over $40,000 of accounts payable due to vendors. And we had no concrete on the books yet, no customers on the books yet.
And he put the car in reverse and he drove me to the fields that I grew up playing at. And he said, look out on those fields and find one of those coaches and go up and ask them if you can help. And in that moment, he told me, you're being selfish, you're thinking about yourself, and you need to go serve others.
We need to get out there and find a way to drum up some business. And how do we do that when we're $20 a yard higher than our competitors? And we're a no-name in the industry, and our trucks are old, and our plants are old, and all of our competitors are Fortune 500 companies with new equipment, new plants, and already well-established reputations. And it's really hard to try to claw work away from them and convince people to bet on us when we're not a pretty picture to start with.
And so I walked out on the field and it changed my entire life.
We have over 55 concrete mixers and over 45 semi-trucks. And we expect to grow that by another 75 trucks in the next 3 years.
Everything in our life has gone to transformations of technology that make them look like science fiction just 20 years ago. Blue Frontier can control humidity and temperature independent of each other. This is a unique capability of this new air conditioning technology. It's at least 3 times more efficient than a conventional air conditioner. That is a game changer, and it will create comfort levels that are unheard of with conventional air conditioning today.
So as a business owner, the main thing that you are worried about if you're redoing your floors is revenue loss. Shutting down your operations is costly. And the thing with Shark Coatings that sets us apart is we can do your job in 1 day, you're back to fully use the very next day.
47 trailers and crews hitting the road. Over 60% of the jobs they do every day is taking up someone else's floor. And to this day, I don't have any knowledge of anybody going over or taking up a Shark floor.
I ended up having to step away from that company because I needed to address my problems with alcohol, with drugs, with mental health. Here at Softwaros, we treat people who are struggling with substance use disorder. That could be alcohol, that could be drugs, that could be overusing prescription drugs. And we also see a lot of people who are struggling with mental health along with that. After I went to business school, I went to strategy consulting, which was again, corporate America. Although we were coming from the outside, it was still kind of the same thing. And what I realized was that I didn't like the pace at which decisions were made. And I wanted to bet on myself. And so when I branched out into entrepreneurship, I really did so that, one, I could control my own destiny, and 2, that I could make decisions and make changes at the speed at which I was ready.
We treat the guy doing sidewalks just as well and just as on time as we do with the guy doing apartment buildings. And that is they're not going to get that anywhere else. I've seen instances where jobs don't even get finished in a day, that the ready-mix producer has canceled the job halfway through it. And I'm proud to say that we have never done that. We do not bump a little guy for a big guy. We treat everybody with respect.
Really, the name Golden is synonymous with boat lifts and marine systems. I did a AI little review about boat lifts in general. Well, we came up on the top as known as the best boat lift in the world. Let AI tell me what it thinks we should be doing to increase our business. How do we get more sales this year? So it gave some good suggestions. Our goal is to double our business over the next 5 to 10 years.
Recent studies have shown only 30% of people are getting the right diagnosis and the right treatment with lung cancer. People assume they must be using the best and most efficient test. They must be using the right drug. That's obvious. It's shocking that it's not. Protean is a complete diagnostic facility. We've got devices that can read over 1.7 billion reads, equivalent of multiple human genomes, can be run every few days. We're doing groundbreaking work, and we continue to publish in the medical and scientific literature constantly. A lot of the oncologists are generalists, meaning they have to treat every kind of cancer, and it's very hard for them to keep up, and that's where Protean comes in to help them to really say, hey, we can help you treat your patient in your practice by giving you all of the information and support you need to be the best oncologist you can possibly be.
He pulls this golf tee out of his pocket and says, I'm a UCF student, I have no money, I have $7,000 in sales, and I need help marketing. He has a patent on the product. This is the only golf tee that has an arrow, so you can aim it in the direction you're hitting the ball, because $20 per box is unheard of in the golf industry. Our golf tees, luckily, are consumable. Even though they don't break as often, and they shouldn't break, they're not unlosable.
Their efficiency drops the hotter it gets. Our efficiency increases the hotter it gets. Good engineering should feel like science fiction.
You can print, you can finish something that's a beautiful shape, an out-of-plane shape, and then at the top, at the edge where you put your hands, the decorative piece, you can polish it to a glass clear finish so that as you touch it, you realize that it is a thing of quality, and to look at it is a shape of beauty. And that's the advantage of a hybrid robot system. The very same robot that prints can also mill and polish. We tune the amount of fiber that we put in them so that they have different mechanical properties. So you might look at a stool or a chair, like the ones that are sitting behind me in the shot, and one of them is the same design as the other, but one is a rocking chair and the other one is a static chair.
Fire neural network, we are able to detect this fire at its very start because we detect the lightning strike that causes the fire. So it's essentially like putting a goldfish into a small fishbowl versus trying to find the goldfish in a lake. So it's really these three components, the dome, the battery box, and then the solar panel that is usually also deployed on top that make up the device. If that area has a wildfire issue, then a Pinard has a place to be there.
My great-grandmother was the second pilot in Brazil, but the first one in the state that I was born. For me, it was scary at the time how I'm gonna start a company here since I don't even speak the language, but I knew what I was doing in terms of work. If you are a government and want a camera on your aircraft to do surveillance and security, we have that. Firefighters to rescue, we have that. And also we can sell planes, we can sell helicopters, and we also sell parts. If we balance that, certain time for myself, certain time for my family, some time for work, I get better results when I was focused 100% in the company and got exhausted working, and I was missing the moments with my family. The market is growing so fast. If you're good, you're gonna stay in the market and you're gonna keep growing.
We manufacture machinery that's tailored to the sign-making industry, specifically channel letter notching machinery, as well as router tables and CNCs and plasma tables, to really focus on building everything here, not even just in the United States, but in our facility.
We're currently the best in the industry of getting machines to our customers on time and even early. Other people in the industry are moving more towards like private equity, venture capital, whether good or bad, it's happening. And so our competitive advantage is really that we are the decision makers.
We create hybrid electric power plants that generate power on board an airplane. The big revolution in electrified aviation isn't about batteries, it's about electric motors. Electric motors are lighter, they scale differently, they're much more responsive than a conventional engine. And the electric motor has allowed aerospace engineers to design new types of aircraft that aren't possible with conventional turbine engines or piston engines. We are the key to making electrification practical and useful.
The problem, ordering custom uniforms and team swag for youth programs and travel programs in sports, is a nightmare.
Little Sally's size is wrong, and then I had to take from Little Mary's uniform and give it to Little Sally. Now Little Mary doesn't have a uniform and it's a whole mess.
And so what we've done is we've transformed that experience into an on-demand model where the parents come on to an online store. We then take that, produce it on demand, pick, pack, ship the order, deliver it right to the parent's door. On top of that, we transform their bottom line by eliminating their single biggest expense.
Florida is a $15 billion wine industry. $15 billion, it's bigger than Australia. Started with making blueberry wine, and we're definitely one of the leaders in that industry. Blueberries are just fine to make wine with. One of their problems is they don't have enough sugar. So we have to add sugar in the beginning to make sure we get to the alcohol level that you would get with a grape wine. We're always trying something new. We're always using new ingredients. We've had a lot of success in cider. So we do a pineapple, we do a mango, and our most popular, which is the elderberry cider. We're open every day. We offer lunch and dinner every day. We offer tours of the facility, of the winery, of the farm every day. We love bringing people here. We get over 100,000 people here a year.
Our goals keep expanding. They're pretty limitless because I think we see the opportunity. The opportunity is there and we're not going to waste it.
Yeah. Ben.
Ben.
Ben, get out of here.
Come on, go. Sorry.
Sorry about that.